So noodles, we normally do maximum 4 days a week, and we do most like per week. We do up to 80 kilos a week.
Start by getting the eggs ready, weighing the flour. After that, we mix them together into a dough. We count specific time to work on the dough. Then the dough needs to rest for also a certain period of time before we can actually sheet it out to start making noodles. We weigh the noodles because we want to make sure every portion is consistent. So every time when you get a bowl, it's that same weightage. And then also because it's more consistent when we put in the soy sauce, the pork lard, everything is measured so that every time you count, the taste is consistent. It's also a thing that we want to preserve. It's actually a classic or a flavor that we should preserve so that the future generations can have a taste of it as well.
We're in TDI market. It's near town and it's one of the central markets in KL where a lot of the purveyors will send things from Selayang and whatnot to here, and a lot of the small restaurants like us come here to buy a lot of our produce because honestly they're one of the best around town.
I think most of the times I would try my best to also go to not only the market but also places like the herbal shops, seafood areas, farms, and my part of my job is to also source out some of the ingredients that we want to use, and so I would sometimes go to those places to go and visit them and see what are they all about, and that would also give me the ideas of what I want to work with.
I think I will only use part 2. Part 1 I do myself.
So the coming menu, which is going to happen in October, it's going to be a pork curry. So pork curry is a very traditional, it's very common actually within the Chinese community. And I come from a Peranakan background, so I am trying to introduce some of that the style of cooking into this dish. And the part that we're using is a pork jaw, which is a cheek of pork. Cheek. Well, this is for curry dish. I'm gonna pressure cook it first. And then with spices of pineapple to break down the pork, and then we're gonna serve it with a curry sauce. Let's see how it goes. The pork jaw, which is probably prized for its very fatty and very tender part of the meat, because it's worth a lot and it's a lot. And where all the cheeks are, where all the fat is. So I think it's a very nice cut to work with, and to cook it with something a little bit interesting, which is curry, but a Peranakan curry that is not too heavy on the cream and not too heavy on the coconut. It's more about the sweetness and the sourness that sort of pairs well with the fattiness of the pork cheek. Yeah, so that's one of the dishes I'm working on. It's the kitchen is very tight, it's very small, so we have to be smart with our space. I mean, we do this because we want to be efficient on space. We don't like a big kitchen, but everybody sort of works together to do the same thing together, whereas I just break their momentum all the time.
Thank you very much.
So we start at 12 and then we have a briefing at 11:45, and lunch rush normally is like 12 to 1:30.
Yeah, I think it's good today. It's just a bit hard, so they're going to cook it a bit longer. It's good to test every day. That's why I can never get skinny.
Well, a lot of noodles, people put gansui to improve the texture of the noodles. Because if you use the shortcut method, gansui will help to improve the texture of it. We choose the long way route, and we personally don't really enjoy as much gansui in our noodles or when we taste it. So that's why we opt for no gansui in our noodles. So we only use whole eggs for our noodles. And it just requires a lot of work on the dough and kneading to get that texture right.
So here we have beer braised char siu. So it's like char siu, but we make it with a bit of beer as well, so we get a bit of that malty flavor.
So basically the OG is something that I grew up with. So noodles that is just tossed with pork lard and a little bit of soy sauce. It used to be quite common. A lot of Chinese kopitiam or noodle shop where people use pork lard to toss the dried noodles.
Really open the charcoal so that it gets that smoky flavor, and also we like the grilled flavor. The grilled flavor and the smoky flavor pairs very well with our noodles.
I think as time goes by, people are a little bit health conscious, and people afraid of pork lard, and then also it's a lot of effort to prepare the pork lard. So A lot of people also try to cut costs and cut time by not doing.
So currently during service time, production will sort of do production and also pre-service prep for dinner.
This one is white fungus. So we're just cutting out the core right now. After cutting out the core, it's like this. And we just break it up into smaller pieces.
So this is our mochi skin. So it's made out of glutinous rice flour, and we steam it every day, and we sort of roll it into the skin to be wrapped with the mochi dessert for dinner.
So we finish at 3:30. So we have a break in between 3:30 and 5:30. So this is the time that we had our staff meal. And after staff meal, some of them will just go sleep, take a nap, power nap before the dinner service.
6 p.m. we have 2 tables, 1 table of 5, 1 table of 3. 6:30, 4 tables, it's 4 table of 2.
I think it's just that what we do as a restaurant is not very particularly similar to a lot of restaurants. One thing is because our purpose for the restaurant is not to make like millions of money, or like, yeah, we have pursued to make money, we have pursued to get all sorts of accolades, you know. I think sitting down with Aaron when I first joined him and joined Bibi as well, I think the purpose was to also just really cook and protect what we love. And we've seen so much things change over the course of time, and we're young, right? So we have seen a lot of things change within our generation, and how the world is moving so fast and how culture is changing so quickly. So Sweet Details to me is like a time capsule. This is our space where we slow things down, right? We slow cultures down, we slow things down in hopes that in the future when people sort of see what we're doing, that they would sort of pick it up and be like, hey, you know, this is something interesting that they have done before. You know, I have a saying that we are cooking for the future in hoping that we are someone's past, you know, so that at the same time when the future generations do look at us, we are sort of a old legend to them, you know. I always question myself, how did all these uncles and aunties that does front, like all these kopitiams, how do they become those legends? So that's, I think, our quest of running 50 Tales is searching for that answer of how do we freeze ourselves in time that people remember us, okay, 50 Tales was that restaurant in 2024 or 2023 that did this OG style noodles that was so great. I believe it's great. I'm not sure what the future may think, but like, you know, that people might think like, oh, it's interesting, let's pull it out from that history book again and let's cook it again. Because this is what we did. You know, we look back all these cooking books, be like, this is cool, you know, let's do it now. But we are trying to be that person for the future.